All right, you guys. I have one more thing that I want to share with you guys before I get my day started. But anyways, happy Friday, Faithful Friday, Fun Day Friday to you once again. I want to share this. I'm gonna try to make it short as I possibly can. But listen, also in this season, God is putting people together for His purpose. You know what I'm saying? In the earth, God is trying to get some things when it comes to the family. When it comes to family and when it comes to relationships, God is trying to get order, bring back order to the family, okay? So in this season, He's going to put some people together that in the world may say, you with her or you with him? Now I'm talking about a man and a woman relationship, no offense to anybody, but I'm talking about a relationship between a man and a woman. God is putting those relationships together. And the relationship to people may be like, why you with him? He ain't, girl, Or why you with her? No, dog, she ain't, You know what I'm saying? You're going to hear that. But let me tell you something. If you are in God, you have I'm talking about a real relationship with Him. Now, He's your Father. You have a real relationship with Him, and you have a relationship with Christ. You have a relationship with the Holy Spirit, and it's real. You're in your Word. You hear from God. You pray, and you can hear from God, and you know that God showed you that individual, and God has put you and that person together. Listen, do not let people tell you that you shouldn't be with that person, okay? If you know that you heard from God, you and that person both heard from God, and y'all should be together, don't listen to people, because people will ruin it, okay? Trust me, the enemy is going to come and try to destroy what God is trying to bring together for His glory, because God has a purpose for relationships and for marriages that He's forming in this season, okay? God is trying to bring back order, His original order and His original design in the earth, okay? So don't let people come and tell you who you shouldn't be with. Don't let somebody come to you and bring that person past up. Well, I knew him when he used to be with her and with this one and with that one. He used to do drugs or he used to do this, do whatever. That's what they used to do. Okay, God is transforming people's lives. But don't let nobody come and say, yeah, man, she used to be with the whole block. Or yeah, she got 3 or 4 kids. Or she ain't, she ain't got no high school diploma. Or she ain't got no college degree. Or she ain't got this, that. You know what I'm saying? Don't let nobody come and get in your ear talking about what that person got going on. Because God is doing a new thing. And I'm telling you, He's using things that would never make sense to the world, okay, to do what He's doing now in the earth, to bring back His original design when it comes to family and when it comes to marriage and when it comes to love. Now, all these people know how to accept all this other foolishness out here in the world. The world know how to accept that. But don't let the world tell you that you shouldn't accept what God is trying to do in your life when He knows that it's the right thing and it's His design. Because you're looking at a person past, or you're looking at what a person lacks, or how they may look, or whatever. Don't listen to, because there's going to be people that's going to try to tell you, oh, don't be with him or don't be with her. No, God said, in this season, you listen to Him. Because it may look one way now, but God can do something totally different. I've shared the story many times of Hosea and the story of his wife Gomer. She was a harlot, a prostitute. This man, Hosea, was a sanctified man. He was a prophet. He was a righteous man. But God had him to marry this prostitute. And of course, people in that town laughed at him. They talked about him. And then the thing is, when he married this woman, she was still doing her thing. She was still out there sleeping around, doing certain stuff or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But God put them two together to show His children that this is how I see you. I love you, and I'm still here for you. I'm still your father. I'm still married to you, even though you go out there and prostitute yourself with other guys. Put other guys before me. I still love you. So God used that marriage to show, His love for His people. So the thing is, God will put, I'm telling you, people together that, that you least expect. Not saying that now you got to use wisdom now. Don't just go out there and just say, okay, well, I'm just going to be with anybody just because I know God, He'll accept it. And I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is this right here. If you're hearing from God as a man to marry a particular woman, or you're hearing from God as a woman to marry a particular man, then you do that. That's what I'm saying. But you do what God tell you to do. If that's who he's showing you. If that's the woman as a man, if that's the woman he's showing you, and as a woman, if that's the man he's showing you, then you do what God tell you to do. And I don't care who it is, your family, your friends, no, whoever. You got to trust in the word of God, because God know all things. We don't know. We only know what God reveals to us, okay? So don't go with the world's wisdom. Don't go with their advice. Well, girl, if I was you, no, you ain't me. Oh, dog, if I was you, man, I wouldn't do, no, you ain't me. Okay? And you leave it at that. I'm going to do what God says. It's not about you. It's not about what you think or what you know what I'm saying, what you want me to do. It's about what God has told me to do. And you do what he say. And you trust him. And I'm telling you, God is going to surprise those same people who was talking down on it. He's going to surprise them. That's why you got to be so careful how you treat people. You got to be so careful how you see people, because you don't know what God is going to do in that person's life. So don't go by the person's past, what they don't have right now. You don't know what God is going to give that person. You don't know what God is going to do to that person. Everybody got a past. Ain't nobody perfect. If God can turn your life around, I'm quite sure you ain't always been together. If God did it for you, he can do it for that person too. Or don't be going by how that person look, because you don't know what's underneath all that. Trust me, you don't know what that person got, what type of character that person may have, the heart that person may have, and how that person will treat you and love you and be there for you when nobody else will. And be faithful to you, be kind to you, and provide for you and take care of you. So don't go by looks. You better go what's going on in the inside, and that relationship that person had with God, and how that person gonna love you and treat you, and how that person will draw you close to the Lord, you know? Or if they may not have a relationship with God right now, but you do. And maybe God put you with them for you to bring that person close to him, because he has a purpose for them. I was watching Dr. Fred Price. I'm going to go ahead and get out this right quick, but I'm going to go ahead and say this right fast. I was watching a documentary of Dr. Fred Price. And I know he just passed not too long ago. Oh my God, he was awesome. He was awesome, an awesome teacher. But he said that how he was raised up, his dad wasn't really, I think his dad was a drunk, he used to get drunk and stuff like that. And the mom had to work a lot to provide. So he really pretty much raised himself. And he said, once he came up, he went to this school, and he met his wife. He was liking her. He was drawn to this woman. But she was brought up, I guess, in church. So she would go to church. He said he would go to church too. Not because he wanted to go to church, because he wanted to follow, but because he wanted to follow after her, because he liked her. And so after they started dating each other, they got married. Of course, she kept going to church, but he said, he stopped going. So when she would go to church on Sundays, he would go play basketball. So he said, just so happened one Sunday, he was like, let me go in here and see what she got going on. Let me go and see what she doing. He said, so he went to the church. He said at the very back. And he said when the preacher started preaching, like he was talking directly to him. The preacher didn't even know him. But God knew him though. And God spoke through that preacher every word that Dr. Price needed to hear. And he said that day he came down to the altar. He gave his life to God. And he said he heard God as if he had another conversation with another person. That's how clear it was. That God called him to the ministry to lead people. He heard it clear as day. And he said he gave his life that moment and he never turned back. And now look at what he's doing. And not what he was doing. I don't know that he passed away. But all those years, been teaching and preaching all over the world. And his name is well known. And he's faithful. But what if his wife would have been like, you know what? I don't want to deal with him. He don't even want to go to church. He don't believe in God. I ain't going to deal with him. She would have missed out on something so great, and somebody else would have got that. So you don't know what God going to do in a person's life. You don't know what, who God life, who life he would transform. You don't know that. And God can be using you to be that very person, just to lead that person to him. You are the lead way to get that person to him so that he can transform their lives. So don't walk away because people talking about him, or people whispering and people saying stuff, or because of your judgmental ways, or well, he ain't, I don't want to be with him because he this and that, or I don't want to be with her because she this and that. You don't know what God's going to do in that person's life. All right? Y'all don't miss your blessing in this season. Trust God. Y'all be blessed.